Evening all. So we're going to do some shotgunning here. This is Shotgun Pete, who takes no sheet. Well, kind of works, but you see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is I love this map. I'm a big fan of this map. I didn't used to like this one. I think it was always seemed a bit I don't know, difficult. I always found it very difficult to maybe find my niche on this map, and maybe that's worth discussion, because one of the things I would notice in all of the maps, in fact, is that there are certain maps which favour certain guns, and I think this one's probably kind of laser rifle stroke long range, assault rifle range, and I think for a shotgunner it's not too bad. You've got plenty of kind of advantages to hide, but it's probably not ideal for shotgunning. But let me explain, because I think there's certainly an interesting kind of concept, because that was a good start. Certain maps I think really lend themselves well to certain guns and certain tactics, and I think this one really is it's quite difficult to kind of get close to these people. Only in this case I'm lucky because they're basically their attention is elsewhere, let's say. But what's interesting, I think, is that a lot of the maps that you have, there's a kind of different way to play them, and I think there's certainly maps which really favour assault rifles. Assault rifles to me are kind of short mid-range, laser rifles are kind of mid to far range, and then sniper rifles are obviously extreme range. And I think when you kind of take the minigun is generally a short, same range as I guess the AR, but not as accurate. So you could almost say the minigun and the shotgun are very close range, and that's quite interesting when you start to really kind of look at these maps. And I think this one particularly, because of the distance you generally have between yourself and open exposed space and the enemy, this map to me really favours laser rifles, and possibly longer range assault rifles, so things like the GEC with maybe sharpshooter 2 or 3, so you generally have a bit more kind of range upon yourself. So for shotgunning on this one I did quite well, but I still think I found myself running quite a bit, and basically running right after people where if they just happened to turn around they would have seen me and wasted me within seconds. So it was a bit tricky. I think I did die a few times doing this one, but I would probably instill the virtues of shotgunning. I think it's if you've got a good kind of hand-eye coordination and you've got a good I call it Twitch gameplay style, so you're good at running around corners and immediately pressing the button before the other person reacts, you're going to do quite well at shotgunning. Shotgunning in this game is very good. I mean, any good game needs a good shotgun. That's just, I think it's the law, it's written somewhere. Because shotguns to me are they're fun to start with, but they're also, I think, a very viable in game world. I don't mean in real world. In gaming worlds, they are obviously the ultimate close range kind of weapon, and I think that's what a lot of players like that. Assault rifles can become a bit boring, to be honest. So I think a lot of the time people are keen to kind of throw off the shackles of oh, that hurts. To throw off the shackles of kind of mid-range kind of run and gun daka style, and it is nice just to really put your balls in the line and basically go for it with a shotgun. And with the scout suits as well, I mean, look at this, I'm running up on this guy and it's just luck he didn't see me. But this is what I love about shotgunning. It's a real kind of Twitch gaming experience, but again, you die a lot, so this is the only issue with it. These scout suits, I think they're made of tissue paper, because as soon as somebody coughs in your direction you're pretty much taking damage, and that you need to bear that in mind. But to be honest, again, the beauty of this gun, or rather this fit, is that you shouldn't really take any damage if you're, I think, capable of evasion. Now, to do evasion, obviously I fitted this one with the 2 mobility mods. This just gives me, I think, 10% speed increase. So with 2 of them, it's basically 20% speed increase. That means I can pretty much run, with the scout suits, obvious bonus, you can run pretty continually for maybe, a good minute, maybe 40, 50 seconds to a minute. And that, you think about it, that means you can cover some real distance. And look how fast this thing is. It's pretty beast-like. So I think it's, again, I know I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but I always think you should have a range of drop seats for all different types of maps. And, sometimes you'll just be in the mood to do shotgunning and you'll probably do quite well at it. So just consider buying the scout suit. I think it's like 700 the militia one, and that's really all you need. And then just put a few skill points into the shotgun skill. I think most you'll probably need to put in is maybe 40k, and that's not too bad. And then that gives you access to some pretty decent guns. I think this is the specialist shotgun I'm using now, which is perfectly fine. 8 rounds, pretty good damage, and yeah, it's pretty good. And it's even not got too bad a range on it, so if you find that you need to sneak up on people a bit, sort of, you know, kind of more distance, if you like, you can still get them, like I just shot that guy there. Plus, generally the damage it does is pretty significant. So, you know, if you get a body or a headshot, instant kill. You jib them, basically. If you get an arm or a leg shot, generally you will also kill them in one shot, but not always. So you just need to be careful of that, because there will be times when, you know, you need to take someone down in one shot and they'll kill you. Now, what's probably the most fun part of shotgunning is when you come up against another shotgunner, because that really is like, you know, it's like basically playing Russian roulette with all the chambers loaded, firing at each other. And it's just fun. I think there's something really kind of like, oh my god, about it, because with an AR, yeah, they can hit you a good couple of times. Here we go, this dude here, well, he didn't see me, so he's dead. But, you know, if you get a good couple of shots on an AR, well, an AR can get a good couple of shots on you and it won't kill you. It will certainly do some damage, but you can probably evade. And this is where I would say some of these kind of shock and awe weapons like this and the mass driver and certainly the forge gun, I would say, are probably worth, you know, investigation, let's say. But sometimes you're not always going to escape. I mean, in that case, I was very lucky. Sometimes you can get around heavy gunners, and I think, you know, it's luck of the draw. Like, I'm running on this guy now. It's only luck he didn't see me. If he'd have seen me, he'd have easily dispatched me, I'd say. But just a point on that, I think the shotgun is probably one of the few weapons that is actually the counter to a heavy. And let me explain. A heavy suit, no matter how good it is generally, can only take about 3 hits from the shotgun. And because the shotgun generally, I mean, you've got variants of the shotgun that only have 2 shots in them. I'd probably avoid that one. You want one that's got, say, up to around 6 to 8 shots, because when you're going to start shotgunning people, you don't want to run out and have to reload halfway through. So it's definitely worth considering a shotgun suit as an anti-heavy suit fit. And certainly when you kind of see minigunners coming, if you have the ability to refit, or if you can quickly, you know, GTFO and get to a supply depot, it's worth doing, because the speed these things run, you know, really, as long as you can just evade damage and get yourself out of any kind of scenarios where you're kind of being outnumbered and flanked and mobbed and massed and all that, then you're going to be all right. I mean, it sounds a bit crazy, but I've got to admit, I think the shotgun is a phenomenal weapon. So there we go. So even against the forge gun, okay, if he'd have charged it, he may have done me some damage because I've got no armor. But again, this is kind of the luck of the draw with shotgunning. Sometimes you'll have a really good round, sometimes you'll have an absolutely abysmal round. So you just need to be a bit aware of you know, that kind of thing. So map's going quite well. It's probably quite equal. I think we're certainly winning the clone battle though. And this was this was an interesting round. They had some really good snipers on their side, and they had some really good minigunners. So it was always a bit it's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest, because every time we came up against you know, a kind of group, we generally were winning the engagement, but they'd always then have some kind of minigunners coming from reserve that would then really mess us up. So it was a good match. It's always nice to have matches that are close. The last few matches that I've played as a squad have just been abysmal, because they've all been easy wins. So I'm not flaming or trolling anyone, but it would be nice if we if we didn't have such you know, easy wins or easy, what's the word, losses, if that's the fair word, you know. And I think it's just part of the game. I know these are generally the open free-for-alls, whatever you want to call them, but it does become a bit does become a bit annoying. And plus then, you know, this is part of the game. I think, you know, you just have to get used to it. We are going to do some court battles. At the moment, we're still really just sorting ourselves out. We're not, again, like I say, we're not the most organised group. We're probably close to comical when it comes to being a court. We're just a group of people who love to have a bit of fun and you know, have a drink, and some of them have a smoke and just basically enjoy gaming. That's us. That's what we love to do. And you know, I can't say we're the most organised. And you know, again, I really would stress, if you want to join us, just apply. We'll let you in, and there's no requirements to get in. When you know, we're not like that. We just love to have fun. Oh, that was fun. Running around a corner into a heavy. Ooh, that hurt. that's going to leave a mark in the morning. But I think this is something to bear in mind. If you're interested, if you're playing this game solo, maybe you found my videos and you're kind of watching them, and hopefully you're enjoying them. But maybe you're sat there thinking, well, I don't know how to play as a group, or I wouldn't know what to say. You don't have to talk. It's totally cool. You can sit and listen to other people if you so wish. We just want to try and make a bit more of a community. Is really all we're trying to do. And you know, it's totally cool. You can play how you want to play. You don't have to squad up with us. You can just sit and run ambushes if you so wish. You can do whatever you like, because we're not in any way a strict corp. We just want to basically make sure that this game does well and have a bit of fun with it. And that's it, really. You know, I think it's very anti-Eve. Eve is a very elitist game. And believe me, you don't ask to join our corp in Eve, because there's many reasons why you just can't do that. But this isn't Eve, this is Dust. So we want to try and create maybe a different vibe for this kind of community. So it doesn't matter if you've got a kill-death ratio of horrendous proportions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it affects our corp rank standing at all. Please don't think that that's a problem. Just come on in and join us. Anyway, advert over. And the map's almost over as well, so we got them down to 10 clones. And I think this is pretty much now just a counting game, really. And, oh, man, I hate it when that happens. You get shotgunned by your own tactics. But that guy actually had an assault suit, so he had a slight advantage on me. And I'm just trying to kill this dude before he kills my mate's tank. Oh, too late. Sorry, Porter. Oh no, and he got me as well. But there we go, victory, and it's a really good match, really good fun, and difficult one actually, a few challenging moments within that one. But yeah, there we go. Again, just a quick reminder, if you want to join our channel, Kicking Dust, please come on in. You don't have to talk, just sit and listen to the chat that we do in there. Admittedly, I'm kind of Euro time zone, so I'm not always in there, but bear with us, we're still ramping up. And there we go, 24 kills, 10 deaths. Not great, but hey, we'll take it. That was a good match. So there we go, hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.